Hello folks, thanks for tuning in. The most common question I get is about silver and gold confiscation. Everybody's always asking, can they confiscate gold? Can they confiscate my silver? Why continue to stack if they're just going to come and take it? And what they're worried about is the 1933 Act when FDR signed executive order outlawing the ownership of gold. And during that time, they were able to acquire 20,000 metric tons of gold. And you know what it was for? It was to bail out the Federal Reserve. But back then, people didn't realize what the Federal Reserve was or wasn't. They didn't know back then that the Federal Reserve was not part of the federal government. And back then, there was a love of country and a love of God. Very much like today, there is a love of God and country. However, we're a little bit smarter than they were back then. Because of their love of country, there was no need for confiscation. There was no knock at the door demanding your gold and silver be turned over. There really was no confiscation back in 1933. Because of their love of country, they turned in their gold freely. Many people held on to their gold, and they basically struck it rich. After the Federal Reserve got their 20,000 metric tons of gold, miraculously, out of the blue, the price of gold skyrocketed. And shortly after that, the federal government, FDR, turned to the people. You can now own gold again, after the people gave their gold up, and the price skyrocketed. But at no time in 1933 was there a knock on the door. Today, people are much smarter. And I tell people, you don't worry about it. You keep stacking your gold, you stack your silver. Do not worry about anybody coming to take your gold or silver away. I don't believe there will ever be another executive order outlawing the ownership of gold and silver. I'm a firm believer of it. I've been around precious metals for quite some time, and I just don't believe it'll ever happen. But let's just play the devil's advocate. Let's just say there is an executive order outlawing the ownership of silver and gold. Still, there'll be no confiscation. You will never hear, "Hello, we're your friendly neighborhood federal government here to collect your gold and silver." It will never happen. First and foremost, they do not have the manpower to do it. They don't have the manpower to come door to door knocking to confiscate gold and silver. In addition, regardless of what people say, they don't know you have your gold or your silver. I know people saying, oh, they know everything, the cell phones are tapped, and they know everything. The fact of the matter is they can care less, and they don't keep track of the people who buy 20-ounce tubes at a time. They keep their eye on the big boys who are buying thousands and thousands and thousands of ounces at a time. They're not coming for you and your 400 or your 500 or your 1,000 ounces of silver. They don't know you have them. They don't know where you are. They don't have the manpower to come after you. You will never, ever have to worry about gold or silver confiscation ever in your lifetime. So people who are nervous about buying gold and silver, please continue to stack your gold and silver. Do it without fear, but continue to stack your gold and silver. No one's coming after you. No one's coming after your gold and silver, ever. You folks have a great day.